Okay. Hello, everyone. Let's get ready to continue this trial. Okay. Dude, I can't believe that Adrian. No way, not cool. Not cool and collected Adrian Andrews. She's your manager. It would have been very easy for her to pull this off. The only person who had easy access to the knife used at dinner was, well, her. So after the ceremony, during the break, huh? I was sleeping like a log the entire time. See? She could also have easily planned that blood-covered button on your hakama. Because she was the one that came to wake me up. Then, dude, you're saying it really was her? Yes, she's the real killer. She was the one who murdered Juan Carita. Is she? But why? I thought she was buds with Juan. It sounds like they had a relationship at one point. She has her own agenda. Her own agenda? What are you talking about? I'm sure you'll see by the time this trial's over. It'll be alright. I'll get you acquitted by the end of today. Give me a verdict that's refreshing like a spring breeze, okay, Mr. Lawyer Dude? Phoenix, you think her motive is related to Celeste Impacts' missing suicide note, right? I'm sure it has a lot to do with this. Yes. Miss Andrews depended on Miss Impacts as her strength and reason to live. But then Miss Impacts suddenly killed herself. It sounds like she left a suicide note, and the person thought to have hidden it is Juan Carita, the victim of the murder. That's why I think Miss Andrews got close to Mr. Carita. All to get the suicide note back. That sounds plausible, but one thing bothers me. What? Who was it that first told her about... Who is it that first told us about their relationship? Better stated, Miss Anders' dependency issues with regards to Ms. Impacts. It was Edgeworth. Looks like he's still the one in command of this ship. Don't let your guard down yet. I see. Court will now reconvene. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, if you please. The prosecution calls the witness subpoenaed by this court. Ms. Adrian Andrews, the person who discovered the crime in Mr. Juan Carita's room. What is your occupation? I am the oh, I see. Now then. Before we begin, Your Honor, I have one request. Yes? Sure, what is it? I'm sure everyone in this room is wondering the same thing, and I would love to find out more about my relationship with the victim. After all, it was the topic of a certain weekly magazine recently. Yes. That was making the tabloids, wasn't it? No, I have no idea what you mean. I've never even heard of Gossipland. If the judge was ever a prosecution witness, he'd do all my work for me. Anyway, I was wondering if you could please tell us about your relationship to the victim. I know she... Yes, Noble, she does look like Samus. I know, because, I watched Lucagen's LP of this game, and she pointed it out too. I wasn't going to say it, but you did it for me. Yes, I was seen, Mr. Kurita. I was also aware of the rivalry that existed between Matt and Juan. But this was a private matter between Juan and myself. So it was a fry and bait matter, or was that bait and fry? Reminds me of fishing. But I didn't kill him. No one's accusing you of that. I think there's someone who would beg to differ. Oh, is she talking about me? Did she do it, though? I think we all understand your relationship with the victim now, Miss Anders. Very well, witness. Please testify to the court about what happened when you discovered the murder that had taken place. It was time for the show to start, so I went to get Matt from his room. After that, I went to Juan's room. And there was his dead body. I was in shock. What I saw was naturally the exact same scene as in the crime scene photo. I felt as though I was about to faint, so I poured myself a glass of juice. You poured yourself a glass of juice? Yes, sadly, I didn't remember not to touch things at the scene of a crime. And I disturbed the crime scene by moving this one thing. And that is when the fingerprints on the wine glass were made, Your Honor. I see. Well, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Phoenix. She is one cool and collected customer, and she has the brains to match. Yes, I know. In order to catch a person like her, you have to avoid head-on confrontations. You should disrupt her pacing. Disrupt her pacing? She's the type of woman who's easily thrown off by things inconsistent with her thinking. So you have to attack when she least expects it. The instant you let up on your offense is the instant this trial's over. Understand? Okay. Okay. It was time for the show to start, so I went to get Matt from his room. After that, I went to Juan's room. Why did you go to Juan's room? And why'd you do that? As a friendly gesture, Juan was to make an appearance with the other heroes. So the show is supposed to be a show of friendship, huh? I should back off. As long as I don't have any proof she's not gonna talk. May we continue now? And there was his dead body. I was in shock. You were in shock. What, was I not supposed to be? Miss Anders is a very calculating person, and despite how close they were, I doubt she had romantic feelings for Mr. Kurita. Anyone randomly stumbling upon a dead body would be in shock, and you can't seriously expect that a young beauty like her would not be shocked. Somehow, I don't think beauty has anything to do with being shocked or not. I see. What I saw was naturally the exact same scene as in the crime scene photo. This is the photo you're referring to, correct? Yes, the one with the knife lodged in his chest. And the guitar case was like this too. Yes, it was open and empty, of course. And then, what did you do next, witness? I felt as though I was about to faint, so I poured myself a glass of juice. Juice? Yes. There was a bottle of tomato juice on the table, so I helped myself. But you didn't drink any of it, did you? Huh? There are no lip marks left on this wine glass to suggest that anyone drank from it. I wasn't feeling terribly great, so I set the glass down without drinking it. Miss Andrews, I'd like to confirm with you one more time. When you discovered the dead body of Juan Kurita, you were in great shock. And that's when you poured yourself the glass of juice, correct? And what of it? My mind really was a complete blank at the time. Your mind was a complete blank. I don't think that was possible for you. Aren't you rude today? I was so dazed I made one careless mistake. That one thing. What one thing? Never mind. It's no big deal. What was she starting to say just now? Ms. Andrews, I'm convinced that as you said, you made a mistake at the scene of the crime. What I really want to know is what this mistake was. Actually, so would I. Coolio says juice. As in that is a familiar thing in some localizations. They tend to remove any references to alcohol. Just why they call it a wine glass, and yet they keep saying juice. I'm sorry, when I set the glass down the dresser, I accidentally knocked the flower vase over. Oh. Oh, I like your pants there. Flower vase? Are you talking about the one on the floor in the crime photo? Oh yeah, this. This mess of glass shards? It was originally on top of the dresser, but when I bumped into it with my elbow, it fell onto the guitar case. Oh, which is why, yeah, it says right here, there is water on top of the lid. But on top of the lid, meaning the guitar case was closed when this happened. Why did you withhold such an important piece of information? I'm sorry, I thought that since the crime scene was already in disarray, the people would simply assume the vase was just another part of the mess. It looks like yet another fact has come to light here. Please add this and anything else you have to reveal to your testimony. I'm sorry, but I have nothing more to add. I didn't touch anything else. I was the one who knocked the flower vase over, where it fell onto the guitar case. What kind of flower vase was it? It was a glass vase, and it was fairly big and heavy. I thought I'd try to take one's pulse. So I set the glass I was holding down the dresser. And that's when my elbow accidentally hit the vase. That's odd. I thought she was always in total control of herself. That's what she'd like people to think. Always be mindful of the gap between your perception and reality. I warned you earlier, she wouldn't crack so easily. The only way to make her is to keep on the offensive and not let up. The only way you're gonna catch her was some very strong, decisive evidence. I have to find something. I have to, for Maya's sake. You testified that you knocked the flower vase over, is that correct? Yeah, I know, Noble, that card that she keeps playing with. That will come up in a little bit, I think. And are you sure it fell into the guitar case? Is there some problem with what I said? It's not some problem, it's a major problem. It's true the top of the guitar case was wet with water. However, that's exactly what's so strange. Miss Andrews, you testified the vase fell into the guitar case. However, if that was true, the case should have gotten wet on the inside, not the outside. That's very true. Furthermore, there is one other strange thing about this guitar case. And what's that? Let's take another look at the crime scene photo. The remains of the vase are scattered on the floor. Oh, what's wrong with that? If the guitar case was open when the vase fell, the glass shard should be inside, not outside the case. Yes. What's your point, Wright? That the case was closed at the time the vase was knocked over? Is that all? No. Think back to what Miss Andrews testified to. She said that other than the vase, she didn't touch anything else. Yes, that's right. She did implicitly say she didn't touch the guitar case. But this whole matter with the guitar case is a dead end. The bright red guitar was found at the studio. It has no bearing on the case at all. Maybe not the guitar, but maybe the case? That may very well be. However, the empty guitar case does seem to have no relation to this case, doesn't it? It seems there's no deeper meaning to the guitar case. Well, Mr. Wright, do you think we need to hear more details about the guitar case? Yeah. The empty guitar case. I believe this is a crucial piece of the puzzle. I can't believe anyone would reach for straws like this, but it is you. I can't believe I'm doing this either. Alright, I'll follow along for now. Miss Anders, please testify to the court about the guitar case. Yes, Your Honor. I don't remember too clearly because I was a bit dazed. I suppose I must have opened the guitar case after I knocked the vase over. It's not a big deal though, right? The case was empty after all. As for why I opened the case, even I don't know. Really. Looks like this really wasn't a very important point. This wastefulness is such a familiar feeling by now that it's almost comforting. Anyway, I'll just go ahead and start the cross-examination. Using any way to change the topic, a convenient escape for a weak man. Yeah, you go ahead with that, Edgy. Meanwhile, I don't remember too clearly because I was a bit dazed. I must have opened the guitar case. So, you opened the guitar case then? Yes, well, maybe. Why did you open the guitar case? Huh? Mr. Kurita's dead body was right there in front of you, wasn't it? I would think the first thing you'd do is call for help, not open a guitar case. As the witnesses said multiple times, when she found the dead body, she was dazed. Maybe I was curious to know if the bright red guitar was alright or not. Is that it? Is that all there is to it? I thought maybe the criminal took it. Why would she care about the guitar? But getting back on topic. Was it really empty? I was just wondering if maybe when you opened the case, the guitar was still inside. Why would he bring the case with him if the guitar was back at the studio, right? Why would he bring the guitar with him? How long have you been a lawyer, Mr. Wright? Have a little professionalism. The bright red guitar was found at the studio. These trials will be over in half the time if you just pay attention. Yes, pay more attention, Mr. Wright. Sorry. As for why I opened the case, even I don't know. Really? Was that because you were shocked and dazed at discovering the victim's body? Yes, that's probably it. I'm not gonna get anywhere if I continue pressing her like this. The only way to make her talk is with evidence. I guess I should give it a try. Come on, Phoenix, we can't afford to let up on her now. I wasn't planning on letting up, but she's at her weakest now, so this is our chance. Yeah. I'm sure a weapon's hiding somewhere in the court record, waiting to be found. There's no way you were the one who opened the guitar case. Why would you say that? It's elementary, my dear. Because the only fingerprints on this guitar case are those of the victim. Oh. What is it, Miss Anders? You shouldn't assume that I must have left prints just because I touched the case. What do you mean? What if I were to tell you I was wearing gloves at the time? Gloves? Why would you be wearing gloves at the time? It was the night of the awards ceremony, so of course I dressed up for the occasion. Yes, now I remember. I'm almost sure I was wearing a pair of thin gloves. I see. Well, Mr. Wright, it seems the witness was wearing gloves at the scene of the crime. Is that? Wait a sec. Wait. You're wearing gloves? Isn't that a little strange? Why is that strange? Do you have something that would prove I was not wearing gloves at the time? I have your proof right here. This wine glass. The wine glass? You left your fingerprints very clearly on this wine glass. Even if you took your gloves off when you poured yourself this glass of juice, wouldn't you think it was just a little strange? That you put your gloves back on just to open the guitar case? Oh. Oh. We broke her glasses and she puts another pair back on. Order! 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 Looks like you hit the nail on the head this time. What do you mean? I believe that guitar case plays a very important role here. But it's just an empty case. I wonder if it really was. But the guitar, the bright red guitar, was at the studio. But was that all that was in the case? Phoenix, drop all your pre-consumptions. What was in the guitar case was not the bright red guitar. You don't mean it was a bright white guitar? Wait, no, that's not right either. I know exactly what it was. I admit it would be unnatural for someone to do that. So the witness was not wearing gloves, despite the fact that on the case... Your Honor, this is obviously the defense's usual misdirection tactic at work. Steer the court towards an unrelated topic and lull us all into this misguided... No, Your Honor. Please, recall that Miss Anders had testified that the vase fell onto the guitar case. Which means the case was closed when the crime took place. However, it is wide open in the photo of the crime scene. If you're so sure, right, then I'm sure you can somehow substantiate your outrageous claim, correct? Please enlighten us as to why the guitar case has anything to do with this murder. Can you do that, Mr. Wright? Let's suppose for a second. The bright red guitar was not the only thing that could have been in the case. The bright red guitar not being the only thing? You don't mean to suggest that a bright black guitar would... So, you intend to push your theory the case was not empty. Is that it, right? Exactly. I wouldn't say something I didn't intend to prove. Deflate that head of yours! You haven't proven anything yet. Now then, let's have it. What was inside the case at the time of the murder? What should I be pushing here? I know it's the Nickel Samurai's costume that was in the case. This is a photograph? Yes, but what's important is what's in that picture, Your Honor. In this picture, it doesn't take a genius to see what I mean. What I'm proposing is, inside the guitar case was the Nickel Samurai, the hero's very own costume. Yes, Coolio, I know. I was gonna go without making that reference. Mr. Wright, explain yourself. Right, are you saying the witness opened the guitar case to take out a costume? One sane point would there be to doing something like that? The insane point would be to wear the costume, of course. Miss Anders put it on to hide her identity so she can make her escape. After all, you couldn't let anyone see you leave, could you, Miss Anders? I refuse to accept your testimony. Do you have anything to support such a preposterous idea? Just outside the door was an investigative photographer who was starving for a big scoop. And in the end, she managed to get this shot, correct? You mean this photo? Yeah. Order! Order! Looks like we've wandered into another mess again, haven't we? Nice job, Phoenix. Well, you know my strategy. Speak first, think later. So the real murderer was hiding inside a costume. Wait 1 second, Your Honor. The Nickel Samurai's costume would have been Mr. Matt Ungard's. Why would something of the defendant's be in the victim's room? And inside the guitar case of all places? True. That is a little baffling. Mr. Wright, the court would like to hear your thoughts. What was this Nickel Samurai costume doing inside the guitar case? What indeed? I think it may have been stolen from Mr. Ungard. Stolen? But why would someone do such a thing? Maybe the thief wanted to interfere with the post-ceremony stage show. And so, if he didn't have his costume, Mr. Ungard would be forced to go naked. Maybe you should be stripped naked and run out for making a mockery of this court. Excuse me? Mr. Matt Ungard did not take his costume off after the awards ceremony. He even testified he took a nap while still wearing his costume. Is this not correct? Oh yeah, he did say something like that, didn't he? Aw, shit! Let's try that one more time, shall we, Mr. Wright? Mr. Ungard did not take his costume off during the break period. In that case, the costume we're talking about was a spare one. What? Then are you saying on the night of the murder there were 2 Nickel Samurai costumes in the Gatewater Hotel? Yes, that's what I'm saying. And how do you explain the costume inside the guitar case? It would mean the victim himself brought this spare to the ceremony on purpose. But why? The victim, Mr. Kirito, was the Jammin' Ninja. Why would he secretly bring a Nickel Samurai spare costume with him? What would be the reason behind such a peculiar act? And therein lies the sticking point. What are you mumbling about to yourself now? Have you just been rambling all this time without any sense of inner monologue? Huh? No, I just... Mr. Wright, please explain yourself. Why do you think the victim had the Nickel Samurai spare costume? Phoenix, are you sure you can explain this one? Okay, Think carefully before you answer. Then answer with gusto. I believe in you. Alright, this is what I think. The reason the victim brought the Nickel Samurai spare costume to the hotel was... Here. Your motive off. Okay. The reason the victim was brought to the... Phoenix, what are you doing? Are you crazy? God damn it. Alright, here's what I think. Damn. I can't confront any of her. Wait, What? The reason the victim brought the spare costume to the hotel. Oh, come on. What? Oh. When I first saw him, I didn't use... Oh, I can't even look back. Present his autopsy report. Oh. Will you just let me... No, I can't. I gotta present something. What is it? The moment... Do you guys know? Because, god damn it, I'm trying to look through this to see what the... When I saw the crime scene, I felt... Press... It tells me to press on it, but no, it's just telling me to give evidence. Guys, the reason the victim brought the Nickel Samurai spare costume to the hotel was... How about the knife? What is this? On the night of the murder, after the stage show, the Nickel Samurai was going to hold a special press conference. A press conference? Yes, the Nickel Samurai was supposed to confess something at the conference. I heard about this as well. For once you're not making something up, Mr. Wright. But what struck me as strange was he said he had no idea he was supposed to be holding a press conference that night. The way I see it, that can only mean one thing. The conference was set up. By none other than the victim, Mr. Juan Kurita himself. The victim? Yes. The spare nickel samurai costume was prepared for that very conference. Mr. Kurita was going to hold the press conference as the Nickel Samurai. Why would the victim do such a thing? That's something I don't quite know. What I am concerned with right now is what he intended to reveal at the conference. The Nickel Samurai was going to confess something. And by confess, I'd wager he was going to reveal something about himself. Which means that Juan Kurita, posing as the Nickel Samurai, was going to speak about Matt Ungard. But if that's the case, that's not a confession, that's a public disclosure. Ms. Anders? I can see why you're pros at what you do. Pardon me? Yes, just as you say, the press conference was set up by Juan. Oh, really? Ms. Anders, please offer us an explanation for this. I was the one he asked to help set it up. And the person who prepared the second costume for him, that was also me. You? Juan bet everything on the Jammin' Ninja this year. He was going to make sure Matt was going down with him. He's going to ruin him? Huh? It looked like somehow Juan had his hands, a secret so powerful. It would destroy Matt's acting career. And do you know what this secret of Mr. Ungard's is, Miss Andrews? I see. I've probably been coming off quite suspicious to everyone. But that's to be expected. I've been trying to protect Matt, after all. Protect Mr. Ungard? And yet again, Miss Anders, if you could, please tell us the truth about your behavior. Yes, Your Honor, I understand. From the moment I saw the crime scene, I had a feeling that Matt was the murderer. Matt had to kill Juan no matter what. And he didn't have an alibi for what he was doing at the time of the murder. My thoughts were confirmed by the evidence, of course, the button and the knife. But I'm Matt's manager, so I had to protect him. This does account for everything. Well, I am the logical type. We're finally seeing her true self. If the defense can find no fault with the testimony, I'm ready to make a ruling. Please keep that in mind. Somehow everything has swung. Okay. So, would you say this need came from... Yes, you know why Juan chose that event and that hotel for the conference? Because that was when he could cause the most damage to the public's beloved Matt Ungard. And you knew of this plan, didn't you, Miss Sanders? Yes, because I was the one who set up the conference and prepared the costume. But... Oh, really? Can you show me any proof that he didn't know about the press conference? He did say he knew nothing about the conference. Grasping at straws now, are we, Mr. Wright? And that event was supposed to bring down Mr. Ungard to you. In this case, it means the defendant had a motive to kill. From the moment I saw the crime scene, I had a feeling that Matt was the murderer. But I know what his motive was. But from the moment I saw the crime scene, he didn't have an alibi for what he was doing at the time of the murder. My thoughts were confined to the evidence. As expected, Miss Sanders' alibi is solid. Okay. That button was torn off. He didn't have an alibi. Okay. But What do I press here? Um. She mentioned about the button being torn off. Didn't she? I. God damn it! I'm trying to here, but I'm trying to, but